Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's crossdressing story. Today we are going to share a story called Trip to Paris Part 20 by Teddy. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon. They had a great time during the show. The D Queens and Female put on a really great show and got the audience involved in it. Some of the girls were very passable, others not, and others were made up to the hilt, big hair, heavy makeup, outlandish clothes, and very high platform shoes. It was a show that Ronnie and Jamie really enjoyed. They laughed, sang along, and just had a good time. The show lasted until almost 1:30 in the morning. Then, after the show, some of the D Queens and Female wandered through the audience. One walked up to Ronnie and Jamie and said, "Well now, aren't you two very pretty?" "Thank you," Jamie said. Then looking at Jamie, she said, "And you honey are really pretty for a boy." "Excuse me. Honey. It takes one to know one. You're pretty, have a nice voice, but honey you're a guy. You look better than most of our performers do. In fact, if I wasn't a guy pretending to be a girl, I'd have never known, and I'd probably be hitting on you." Ronnie asked, "What gave her away?" "Just a few little things. For one, she handles her drink like a guy would. But most people wouldn't even see it." "Did you like the show?" "It was great. A lot of fun." "Thanks. And, honey," she said looking at Jamie again, "if you ever want to perform, come on back, and we'll put you on the stage. Just tell them that Rose sent you." She then bent down and gave both Ronnie and Jamie a kiss on the cheek. The girls walked the strip a little longer, looking at people and the various clubs. Then they grabbed a cab back to the hotel and were back in their room a little after 2:30. And Ronnie couldn't keep her hands off of Jamie. And it was almost 4 before they got to sleep. The next day, as usual, they were cuddled together in bed, and Ronnie was awake before Jamie. She just laid there enjoying being close to her. When Jamie finally stirred, she hugged her and whispered, "Good morning, lover." Jamie rolled over, kissed her, and asked, "Morning, love. Did you have fun last night?" "Sure did. It was so much fun being out in Paris with Jamie." "Did you?" "You bet. But, you know, if Mark and I hadn't had our sessions, and Sarah hadn't found my feminine voice, I would have never, ever, done that. But, I'm glad I did. It was fun, even being hit on by those girls. I've never seen you so at ease being out as Jamie." "I know. Maybe it was being away from anyone that might know us, or maybe I'm beginning to realize that I can just be Jamie. I hope it's the latter. It would be much more fun. Being able to walk down the street that way, not worrying or caring if someone reads you as a guy, is great." "I know. If you had seen some of the looks you got, it would have embarrassed you." "Embarrassed me?" "You bet. The lust I saw from some people was amazing. And if I hadn't put my claim on you in the L bar, you would have been hit on by more than that one girl." "Really?" "You bet, lover. I guess I did too good of a job on you." "Never. I loved the look once I got used to it and the reactions. You're getting as bad as I am." "Complaining?" "No. And, you know, it was good to see you enjoying yourself and being your old self. I can thank you for that." And he gave her a big kiss. The flight back to Brest was uneventful, and Jamie was feeling very comfortable. Late that evening the girls were back in Brest and heading toward the Gistert home. Jamie was just thinking about how much fun these last 2 days had been. And wondering why she had so much trouble understanding herself. But was glad that she finally did. Ronnie looked over at Jamie and asked, "This is the longest that you've been, Jamie. What do you think?" With a grin, Jamie said, "I love seeing how the other half lives. And I like what I see. Being a girl this long feels good." Ronnie looked at her with a little bit of a questioning look and thought, I wonder what she meant by that. Just then they drove up to the house and Ronnie said, "Did you leave all those lights on?" "No." "Did you?" "No. I wonder. What if Mir and Per are home? Oh God, I hope not. They weren't supposed to be home until tomorrow. I know. I hope nothing happened to Grandpa. Drive past really slow and let me take a close look. Well, they must have just gotten home. The car is in the driveway and I saw Per carrying bags in. Now what? I don't know. Any place that we could buy you some dye clothes is closed. And they probably think we're out on the town and will be home soon. Park out front. And let's try and figure something out. They parked in front of the house and just watched for a while. Finally, they saw Ronnie's dad go into the den and sit in his chair. Ronnie said he'll be asleep in 5 minutes. Maybe we can sneak in the back door and up the back stairs? No way. Mir has ears like a bat. She'd hear us for sure. I could never sneak in or out of the house when I lived at home. So, what do we do? Maybe face the music with Mir. You mean tell her about Jamie? Yeah. I don't know. Mir is very liberal. And maybe if I talk to her first. You think? I guess there's only one way to find out. Pull into the drive and I'll go talk to her. Jamie pulled the car into the drive, Ronnie gave her a kiss and got out of the car. Jamie watched her walk to the back door and into the house. And sat there worried about what was going to happen. About 10 minutes later, Ronnie was back at the car and Jamie asked, well? I'm not really sure. First, Grandpa is fine. I told her we went to Paris and that you did it looking like a girl. And that you were still dressed that way. She didn't say anything for a few seconds, then asked if you had any regular clothes with you. And I explained that we spent the last 2 days with you dressed only as a girl and didn't take any of your regular clothes with us. Then I told her that you had been dressing like a girl off and on for a long time. And that I supported you. She told me that I'd better get you in the house and upstairs before Per woke up. So, come on. Oh God. Come on. She won't bite. Should I get this makeup off? No. Jamie slowly opened the car door, took a deep breath, and got out. Ronnie took her hand, kissed her, and said, it'll be fine. They walked to the back door of the house, and Ronnie's mirror was standing there waiting for them. As they walked in, her eyes got very big when she first saw Jamie. Then she looked at Ronnie, then back at Jamie, and said, Jason, I don't know why you look this way. But we need to talk about it later. You'd better go upstairs and change before Per wakes up. Without a word, Ronnie and Jamie ran up the back stairs to their room. As they closed the door, Jamie said she didn't seem too upset. I know. Did you see the look on her face when she saw you? No. I don't know if it was shock, surprise, or what. Ronnie changed into some comfortable clothes, and Jamie changed back into Jason. Then Ronnie said, shall we go face the music? Jason looked at her, sighed, and said, do we have to? I think we'd better. She took his hand and led him back down to the kitchen. They walked in, Mir was sitting at the table, sipping a cup of tea. She looked up at them and said, sit with me. Jason sat, and Ronnie fixed them each a cup of tea. Ronnie's mother looked at Jason and said, do you want to talk about this? I guess, Jason replied. Ronnie said that you've dressed in girls' clothes since you were young. Ronnie and I talked about this a long time ago. But it all started when I was about 8. There was a pair of my sister Beth's panties on the hamper in the bathroom. For some reason I tried them on, and I like how they felt. And Jason went on to tell Ronnie's mother the complete story from when he started till now. When he was done, Ronnie's mother looked at her and said, and, Fee, you're all right with this? Yes, Mir. I'm really fine with it. It's a part of Jason, and I love him with all my heart and soul. I had to do a lot of reading on the subject, ask him a lot of questions, and I learned it was just a part of him. It wasn't going to go away. And I also learned it could be fun in many ways. When he went to our friend, Mark, who's a psychologist, we learned a lot about him and his feminine side. And I'm happy with him and his little kink. So, Phils, you've gone out dressed? Yes, Jason replied, we've been out a number of times with me dressed. And no one has said anything? No. No comments. No looks. Nothing. And you go shopping for clothes? Yes. I think that's Ronnie's favorite part. How many people know about this? There's my youngest sister, Mary. Amy, Linda, the psychologist, and his wife Sarah. The people who are members of the support group. And your mother knows? Yes. Like I said, from what she told us, she's known from almost the time I started. And she talked with a friend that was in the mental health profession, and he told her that it was just part of me, to support me, and to not embarrass me. Ronnie's mother sat there and looked at the two of them for a while. Then said, Jason. As long as Ronnie accepts this, I'm fine with it. She's the one that married you, and has to live with you. And if your own mother accepts this, then I guess I shouldn't have a problem with it. I've heard about crossdressing before, but I really don't understand it. And I don't think that Ronnie's father needs to find out, he may not understand. I think you're right, Mir, Ronnie said, Pear would never understand. One last thing, Ronnie's mother said, earlier when Ronnie first came in, explained about your trip to Paris, and you looking like a girl, I was really afraid what I was going to see. But, when you walked in here, I was utterly surprised, you are as pretty as Ronnie. And, you look more like a girl than a lot of girls do. Jason smiled a little, and Ronnie said, you should have seen him in Paris. Maybe I'm glad I didn't. Mir. That's not nice. I'm sorry. But, I'm still trying to get used to Jason looking so much like a girl. They continued talking for some time and learned that Ronnie's father needed to address a problem at work. So, they came home a day early. It also appeared that Ronnie's mother had accepted Jason's crossdressing, at least nothing more was said that night. Later that evening, as Jason and Ronnie were laying in bed, Jason said, that went easier than I thought it would. I told you Mir would understand. Well, at least she accepted it. Sure she did. No. What did you mean when you said, being a girl this long feels good? Did I say that? You know you did. So, what did you mean? I just liked being a girl the whole time we were in Paris. I felt good. You made me look good. And, it was fun. We could go shopping, and you can spend the rest of the time we're here as a girl. I like that idea. Stop being so bad, and enough talk. Kiss me. That's all for now. See you in the next video. For more interesting stories, please subscribe to our channel, and for exclusive content, please join us on Patreon. Link in the comment.